Let's go over some deals. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Apologies, this was meant to be the second video for today, but sadly I had to work through my lunch break. But look, enough about me. Let's get into what we need to go over. Going to be talking a little bit about Lovers of Battle Realm deals, some thought processes around some stuff, and looking at stuff a bit more detailed to kind of give you the answer to the question, is it worth actually buying anything in the store? Of course, before going anywhere, if there's something that you want to target, then of course that supersedes anything that I've got to say. But I will be just pointing out some stuff of interest that will either give you a different impression or kind of make you think that, okay, maybe I'll wait, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. So where do we really begin? Well, we're going to focus on the cash deals, or the deals that are within the store, so the ones you buy with units only. We will be talking about spending-based ones, but I want to focus obviously on free-to-play, and also if you're looking to spend your units. So, as I said, is it any worth to any of these? Yes and no. Yes, if you're looking to target something specifically. And one of those things you might want to be able to target is something that's generic. Now, of course, this is Valiant, so this is a bit of a different story, but if there's anything in the store that's generic, then it can be very helpful. The reason being that most of the things in the store do have this romance champions element to it, where you've got to use it on romance champions. So if you've got some nice rank up gems, hey, they've got to be used on romance champions specifically. And of course, romance champions look a little bit like this, courtesy of Misty K. Shout out to Misty K. And look, there are some good champions in it. Like, I could say, okay, I want to rank up my Wolverine. I want to rank up my Scarlet Witch. I want to rank up Domino, who I recently got. But also, you've got to think outside the box, and you also got to think about stuff that you're doing at the moment. One of the main things could be about ranking up champions for the purpose of Carinas challenges. Now, there is a Carinas challenge that involves some champions that are listed in here. And that could be helpful. One thing that I did point out when I did a bit of coverage of this is that it's important to wait to see what those Carinas challenges had for them, so that you could get an idea whether or not the revives and health potions in some of the spending deals, and as well some of the rank up bundles could be beneficial for ranking up some champions that are going to be helpful in that content. Doesn't completely apply because there's champions like Thor, who's also in the Carinas challenge, Iron Man in the Carinas challenge, and Black Widow and Hawkeye. So there are champions and more, and we'll get to that in a minute. But those are champions that are romance champions, could be ranked up if you have them, and also if you're looking to save anything when it comes to using some of your other resources, so use the gems on them. That's one thing. What else? Well, bundles wise, there's some really interesting new additions in the shape and form of relic based level up and rank up. Now, it's going to be down to you how much you see the value of relics. I've been very slowly coming around to the idea of using relics a bit more. And of course, these ones are new. They're exciting, they're different. The devaluation of relics has been incredible. Not in a positive way, but obviously for some reason, when they were very much put in game for the very first time, they were put up as a very high value and very quickly became very low value. Something that I do want to point out for Valiant players is, as much as you may be like craving to grab a Teal for Alpha, do bear in mind it is now set at 3,000 units per every 28,500. That is, again, a very quick devaluation. And I can imagine by July 4th and by Cyber Weekend, that again, the same thing. It's rinse and repeat. Until Kabam adds something new in, that's shiny and meta, everyone goes, I need this new reward, this new item. And then by the time next year, it's devalued off the face of the planet. And if you say, no, that's not the case, Rich, you don't play this game. I'm sure people understand that. That any time that Kabam puts something in 1 year, it devalues the next year. That's why you can now get a 6-star relic for, if you're a Valiant player, 1,200 units. Now, of course, it would differ between different progressions, but that is ridiculous considering that before, I think it was like even to get like half or a fully formed 5-star relic was 5,000 units. Like, that's sinking, and that was what, a year and a bit ago. So things go down, and that's why I always think it's better to focus on Cyber Weekend deals with units as opposed to some stuff like this and stuff like July 4th, because stuff starts devaluing down as Kabam put it out more regularly. So do kind of be wary of that. But there's some nice little kind of grabs of if what people are interested in. We've got 2, even for Paragon players, 2 times tier 6 class catalyst selectors, and this can again help out with the tier 3 alpha and the tier 6 basic to allow you to get close to forming a rank up on a champion. It's actually not too bad under 3,000 units. It's not ridiculous, by the way. I'm not saying it's brilliant, but it's kind of like, it's something, especially because a lot of these particular items are very much romance champion specific. Therefore, you might be like, well, I could really do with ranking up this champion for this piece of content, and that becomes something of an interest to go and grab. And as I said, 3,000 units for 2 tier 6 class catalysts. And yes, you could get some of the tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha for free. It just largely depends on how much you're bringing in on a monthly basis for that particular resource and reward. So I've got some other notes on some stuff that I want to go over. The tier 4 alpha revelation. So this something is for the Valiant players, and if you want to know something incredibly interesting, for Valiant players at the moment in game you can get up to 3 of this particular deal costing 9,000 units. For 9,000 units you can get 85,000, I'm pretty certain there's 85,500 fragments in total, because it's 28,500 times 2 plus the extra one gets you up to 85,500. Believe it or not, it is actually the same amount that you get within doing the Winter of Woe, and that is by doing so all the quests leading up to that. And again, further, believe it or not, if you buy the 9,000 units deal, which is this one right here, and as well do Winter of Woe, guess what? You get enough tier 4 alpha to get another rank 3 7-star. There you go. Did you not know that? And that may be something that's interesting for Valiant players. They may be looking towards the future. From a free-to-play standpoint, this may be an opportunity, but it's a lot of units to part with. And that's something very serious. With Carinas challenges dropping very recently, and as well looking at some of those particular rewards you get back from doing Carinas challenges, the new CCP ones, is there anything of great value? Not particularly. And again, not being rude to Kebab on this one, it's just a lot of that tier 4 alpha side of things is not there. And because it's not there in these particular challenges right here, I think from an interest perspective, these should have been much more easier, with tier 4 alpha being that thing that would be more interesting for players to grab. So that is a massive revelation right there to kind of find out. So this is why it's a case of looking at some of these challenges and going, what do you want from them? I personally recommend just doing the one for Deathless. And look, if you wanted to go down the route of this, then you can do all 6. But look, if it's going to cost you a lot of units, to be honest, you could save the hassle and invest elsewhere. I'm sure a lot of players would do that. Like, I'm taking my 9,000 units, I am investing it into getting my last piece of Guillotine Deathless, and as well getting this piece of Deathless, which I think is going to be a little bit more straightforward. I'm going to do the Legacy challenges, and maybe have a look at some of the others, but the rewards take home needs to be something that's good and feels kind of nice. Look, if I wanted to throw a load of units, a load of revives at it, then I might do that, but I'm focusing now on ranking up champions, and I have ranked up champions for Carinas. What is it actually? It's down here. It's the where has it gone? It's probably somewhere. I've just kind of gone over it. The Guillotine Deathless one. Oh, there it is. Oh, weird. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to be investing now to kind of go and do this one and get that wrapped up, because that's the next thing. I think you do you at the end of the day, what you feel is going to be good to approach and how to approach it, but. Yeah, making those decisions is going to have to be key as to like what you buy. Are you saving back your units? The reason I say it's not completely trash, there are some good things within this, but it's very much specifically down to what you're looking to achieve, what you're looking to rank up. Is it a hashtag romance-based champion? And is that what fundamentally you need to do? I've put notes to this in the description down below. There are some other things to kind of note, like whether or not you're interested in getting 7-star shards. To be honest, if the Paragon Romance Crystals were interesting to go for, then maybe. But like, look, it's just down to RNG. Do you really want to risk your units for RNG, especially 1,500 units, which could be invested into grabbing some potions and revives, and those regular rotating and repeating featured. They're not doing it at the moment, but the 500 units, kind of like level 3 revives, which I do recommend if you're looking to do some endgame content, because Kabam don't give them out. And also those monthly based kind of event quest like deals that pop up. Those are interesting as well. I'm going to end the video out by quickly talking about those that spend. Obviously, if you spend, I would recommend grabbing some of these deals whilst you can. If, and this is the big if, you're looking to grab some things like these rare revives and health potions, which are going to be helpful for different bits of content grinding, because they fit into different stash and inventory slots. So like having level 1, level 2, level 3 revives. You can also have level 4, level 5, level 6. These ones will sit separately to that, so it means that you have a wider stash for revives and obviously helping out with different content that you might look to do. I don't spend, and I don't plan to spend in future because I just don't like the way that some of the things are done within the game. And of course there are some extra things that you can grab with this, limits and whatnot. Up to you if you want to grab them. There is 7-star crystals in this that could see you taking some of these rare champions, picking up an Iron Man could be helpful, and also dominant. Honestly, there's some nice champions in the 7-star B mine crystal, so that may be something as well a lot of players are interested in grabbing. If there's an opportunity for a 7-star B mine crystal, then of course you can pick up some nice champions for your hassle, for your grind. I would as well recommend going and checking out this web store first, because you'll be able to get a bit more value for money, have market points, and then, you know, reinvest them. So do bear in mind that as well, because you get 3,400 units as opposed to 3,100 by using the web store instead of using the in-game store. So there we go, a bit of an overview there. What are your thoughts? Is there something you're going to be picking up, or like me, maybe kind of like, now I think I'll save my units, do some other content, or invest for July 4th deals, or see what they've got? You know, thoughts in the comment section about that one. Thank you very much for watching this video. Check out some other content located on the screen. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.